In a world where robots walk among us and artificial intelligence evolves beyond our control, a new era has dawned. One where the lines between man and machine blur and the news of our world takes on a new face. Stay tuned for more updates on the future of technology and robotics.
Welcome to RBAI News. Ray Sean Blyden here. Apple has signed something from the government here, and it's pertaining to AI. Obviously, this is an AI news channel. But let's read this. Apple signs the White House's commitment to AI safety. This is something that I'm interested in because we spoke about this before, about ethics and so forth, things that people are going to try to do, because there's always been good and evil, as I said in the past, and there's going to continue to be good and evil, and people are going to try to use technology for evil purposes as well as good purposes. So there's always going to be a flip side of the coin, heads and tails. But let's read and see what they signed and said, see what this actually means. And we'll start out by reading the top here. Apple signed the White House's voluntary commitment. So right there, it's a voluntary commitment, which, again, it depends on what you're talking about. Like if you're talking about something where China is making these AI brains, that's something that should not be voluntary. That should be mandatory to do business in the U.S. as far as AI, to put those brains into Americans' robots, because I don't trust the government to begin with, but I definitely don't trust the Chicoms at all. And so to have them put their Chinese AI brains in an American computer, or like I said, even Americans, companies putting their brains in there without oversight, or regulation, that's not good at all. Because who knows? I mean, take Google, for instance. When they first introduced Gemini, remember what they did? They basically, no matter what you looked up, if you asked for a picture of George Washington, they showed you a black person. So they were excluding white people from everything, which is insane. And so things like that can happen, where these, I don't even know what to call these companies that so far left kooks will do things, put things in place with the brain that who knows what can happen. Because you're conservative, the brain is going to be programmed to attack you physically and everything else. So who knows? There's got to be regulations. That's just my own humbling opinion. And you're talking to a guy who's a small government guy. But when it comes to this, you cannot just allow just anything to a free-for-all, because you're talking about human life. Things can go very wrong. Let's start from the topic. And Apple signed the White House's voluntary commitment to developing safe, secure, and trustworthy AI, according to a press release on Friday. The company will soon launch its generative AI offering, Apple Intelligence, into its core products, putting generative AI in front of Apple's 2 billion users. Apple joins 15 other technology, I hope that they tell you the companies that did it here, so we can know. 15 other technology companies, including Amazon, Anthropic, Google, Inflection, Meta, Microsoft, and OpenAI, that committed to the White House's ground rules for developing generative AI in July 2023. At the time, Apple had not revealed how deeply it planned to ingrain AI into iOS, but we heard Apple's loud and clear at WWDC in June. It's going all in on generative AI, starting with a partnership that embeds ChatGPT in the iPhone. I think what they're missing here is it's only for pro version. So basically, if I want that AI on my existing phone, it's not going to work. I have to buy the latest and greatest Apple phone, and I'm not upgrading. Not that serious. As a frequent target of federal regulators, Apple wants to signal early that it's willing to play by the White House rules on AI, a possible attempt to curry favor before any future regulatory battles on AI breaks out. But how much teeth do Apple's voluntary commitments to the White House have? Not much, but it's a start. The White House calls this the first step towards Apple and 15 other AI companies developing AI that is safe, secure, and trustworthy. The second step was President Biden's AI executive order. Do we know what that is? All right, let's go to the executive order. Let's see here. President Biden issues executive order to set standards for AI safety and security. Let's read through this real quick. Let's get to the meat and potato of it. I'm not going to read the whole article because I didn't anticipate having to read this. Last week, the UN safe, secure, and trustworthy AI. Specifically, the order sets out that developers of the most powerful AI systems must share their safety test results and related data with the U.S. government. I don't know about. Well, I guess so. I don't know. I guess that's reasonable. As AI's capabilities grow, so do its implications for Americans' safety and security. The order notes, adding that it's intended to protect Americans from the potential risk of AI systems. Aligning the new AI safety and security standards with the Defense Production Act of 1950, the order specifically targets any foundation model that might pose a risk to national security, economic security, or public health, which, while somewhat open to interpretation, should cover just about any foundation model that would come to fruition. Okay, there's a lot more there, but I'm not going to read through this. Let's get back to the article at hand. I'll put a link to this article if I remember. Remind me if I don't in the comments. And you could scroll through that if you'd like. But getting back to this, but how much teeth do Apple have? It says not much. And we just read a little bit of President Biden's AI executive order. Under the commitment, AI companies promise to red team acting as an adversarial hacker to stress test an organization's safety measures, AI models, before a public release and share that information with the public. Are they going to do that? I don't know. Sharing is caring, they say, right? Sharing is caring. So there you have it. You can read the rest of the article on your own time at leisure. But let me know what you think about that. Do you think the government is right to call on Apple and other companies to do this? Or do you think that it's overstepping their bounds? It's a private company. I could do what I want to. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, share, and like, and I'll see you in the next one.
Stay informed, stay ahead. Welcome to the future. Stay tuned for more updates on the future of technology and robotics. Thank you for watching RBAI News. Visit rehdogg.com/a iNews.